Hi, everyone. This is Alex Trebek. Listening to Don Geronimo and Mike O'Mara is really putting yourself in jeopardy. So I never do it.
You can call Don and Mike anytime, toll free at 1-877-365-3636. That's 1-877-365-3636. They're ready to believe you.
Everybody loves Don and Mike.
It's the Don and Mike Show, and they'll say what they wish.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Ladies and gentlemen, I did a lot of praying last night to this man. Right. I got down, I lit a candle, and I said a little prayer to God's only son, Bill Hochberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rob Spiewak. Take it away, Rob.
I'm Rob A. Rob Spiewak from the Don and Mike Show on WJFK, and I want to know, are you ready to help our team do a big win over the Giants today? What do you say, fans?
Rob Spiewak. What do you say, fans?
You know, Phil called me this morning.
Really?
He's very excited. He just bought a brand new $1,500 jumpsuit, and he's ready to compete among the top 20 in America. Good luck, Phil.
He's number one, Rob.
Maybe number two. Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Bayer, and all the ships at sea. And now, the men who brought you the 12-hour PBS miniseries, Ken Burns' Jizz, Don Geronimo and Mike O'Mara.
Thank you, Robbie, and hello, and thank you for listening, everybody. We're here now.
Yes, we are. In control now, gentlemen.
Oh, we'll let you know how that goes.
Right, exactly.
Don and Mike Show on a brand new episode, still courtesy, brought to you via the auspices of Westwood One.
Yeah.
New episode on Tuesday, January 9. Our phone number is same as it ever was.
Same as it ever was.
877-365-3636. That's your hotline to the hits. What can we say?
Welcome to my world.
Welcome to our ever-changing and controversial world.
Yeah.
Won't you come on in?
More stuff happening now behind the scenes that we won't bother you with.
Miracles, I guess.
Yes. New friends one day, new enemies another.
Still happen now and then.
However, you know, I'd like to know what's going on.
Step into
Yeah, I would
my
too.
heart.
I really would.
Because if that's happening, then
Leave your cares behind.
gee, maybe we get sick.
Yeah, I got a sore throat.
Welcome to my world.
And of course, you should all know that it's built with you in mind.
Built with you in mind. Built with you in mind.
I won't trouble you with it now, but there's behind-the-scenes problems brewing, even though we're not on the station in New York anymore.
Right.
There's behind-the-scenes stuff that's brewing now.
Yes.
And we know that Ken Stevens and Jeremy Coleman are involved in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you know, and if there's no control over that situation, you know, if we're the enemy now,
right.
you know, if that's the way they're going to look at us up there in New York, then that's fine. Then you know, we still believe that those two gentlemen, especially Mr. Stevens, has a connection to this radio station.
Right. Hey, Charlie, did you talk to them up there? Did you figure out, without getting into grand detail about what's going on, did you get a handle on that situation? Oh, maybe this is him on the phone. Hello?
I called Jeremy.
Yes.
And he said, what's wrong with that? He said, you guys have done the same thing in the past.
No, and we've gotten in trouble for that in the past.
I said, we've done that, but we've not gotten anybody to say we could. They don't have permission to do that. And there was a long pause, and he didn't understand why I was asking. I said, besides us thinking it's wrong, why do you think it's right? And he didn't have an answer to that, and I said, you should be the one telling them they can't do this.
Let me explain what's going on. Those big pussies on WNEW, Opie and Anthony, the afternoon guys, what they're doing is, you know, we canceled the contract with NEW yesterday. They still got the satellite feed of our show, and they got comments that we made after the show had ended on the network, and we were just on a local feed.
We had the luxury of still hearing their show, and we heard them making noise like they were going to play excerpts from our show. Now, they can rag on us all they want. That doesn't bother us at all. But if they're going to play tapes of our show, that's a different deal.
Because we've always been told all along that's unauthorized.
Right.
You can't take a tape of another disc jockey show and play it. You just can't play.
We've had disc jockey wars for years and years and years. We can't do that. We've always been told that.
And you certainly can't do that if it's someone who doesn't work at the radio station that you work at.
Right.
And we don't work there anymore, and it was a broadcast that didn't air on WNEW yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're pissed about that. Mm-hmm. It's just Ken and Jeremy. And so what did he say?
He hung up. I think he hung up.
Well, where did he go?
He hung up.
Hold on. I was just giving the audience a little background on this.
Right.
Because, listen, this is the entire problem.
Now that we're not going to be coming up there anymore, Opie and Anthony are teeing off on us full-fledged. And now it's maybe perhaps the natural feelings that we've had for them and they've had for us can come to the surface.
But this is the hypocrisy of the situation. Exactly what they're doing today is the type of stuff that we get told all the time we can't do.
Right.
You can't call someone without getting their permission to put their call on the air.
Right.
You can't tape someone without getting their permission to put the call on the air. Mm-hmm. And one rule we've had all along is that you can't put another disc jockey's show on the air without that disc jockey's permission.
Right.
I mean...
and the bottom line is here also, it's about time that we make a request like certain other members of this family have made requests before. It's not a question. I don't care what's legal, what's not legal. I don't want them to do it. Yeah. I don't care if they talk about us, but don't use our show for your material.
Hey, so what did he say?
He said, well, I guess then I will go nip that in the bud. And I tried to find out from him why he didn't think it was a problem.
And furthermore, where do you think...
we got an enemy there.
Where do you think Opie and Anthony got the copy of the tape of yesterday's show?
I would think Jeremy had to give it to him. But if they weren't going to run it, why were they recording it?
Just to F us.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not recording it today.
All right. You better call Jeremy back and tell him that both me and Mike are getting real sick.
Okay. I will. I'm feeling a little gaseous, too.
There you go.
All right.
That's nothing new.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
I mean, it's about time to discover where we fit on the pecking order.
Hey, we got to find out
how much value we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Really, this is BS.
If nothing else, they deserve a little loyalty towards us, meaning infinity, meaning that, okay, we had a falling out about what went on WNEW. We think they're wrong. They think we're wrong.
But the fact of the matter is, they're up there in large part due to the success of this show. Jeremy and Ken are up there because they were successful down here before they got the job up there. That's the bottom line.
And now they're going to supply Opie and Anthony with tapes of this show that never aired.
Yeah, that's crap.
In New York, and allow them to play that and cut us an a-hole? Hey, forget it. You know what, Infinity? Ken Stevens? I mean, well, what it really comes down to is, why don't you decide who's more important to the company?
Yeah, exactly.
Really. I got zero problem with walking out.
Hey, it's a bottom line issue. Let's add some numbers up. That's what I think. You want to know who's more valuable to the company? That's an easy equation. You don't even have to this doesn't have to be a subjective thing. This can be a completely objective issue. You just add it up.
So, Jeremy, you big pussy, you gave the tape of yesterday's show to Opie and Anthony so they could cut us open today.
Do we know that for a fact?
Well,
as much as I don't want to defend Jeremy.
How else would they get the tape?
Well, they got all the, that boys club they got up there. They got about 750 little ratzos running around that station.
All I know is that every time we've gotten in trouble, they always say it's the program director who's responsible for what goes on the air.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, he's sitting there with a gigantic dump button.
Right, exactly.
And I know that we've gotten in trouble for doing stuff like that before. We've had severe rules put on us. This goddamn thing with, hi, this is the Don and Mike show. Do you mind going on the air with us? We're the only show in the whole company that has to follow that rule.
It's just if Jeremy is thinking that he is so removed from us down here in Washington, D.C., that he can say, hey, forget about it. Go ahead. Take on those guys. And, talk about them all you want. He's sorely mistaken.
You know what? See, the thing
He's still tied into this radio station, whether he likes it or not.
It ain't a fair fight because, like Mike said, we don't give a rat's ass what Opie and Anthony say about us on their show. It's their right to say anything they want.
But if the station where, we've decided to leave, if they decide to take tape of our programming and play it on that station now, that's unacceptable. It's just like unacceptable to play our show last night.
And it's not like it's archived programming that's run, that's already in their library.
Yeah, if O&A want to talk about us all day on their show, they have that. That is absolutely no problem. I don't have a problem with that. We can do the same thing for them, and it can go on, and it's actually fine. But I'll tell you right now, if they're taking our show and taking excerpts of it, that's not fine.
And that's something that, frankly, we're not whining about.
We've never done that.
We're not crying about. It's something that we've been told we can't do.
And we have never done it, to the best of my knowledge. Have we ever done that, outside of disc jockey audition tapes that are sent here for comic value? Have we ever taken excerpts from a show? I don't think it's happened. No. We've had tiny little, maybe a commercial line here or, a Merry Christmas line here, but we have never taken content from another show that we're ragging on and playing. No. We don't need to do that.
No, we record stuff off television, stuff that's in the public domain. I mean, and you can say, okay, the show's in the public domain, but they lifted it off the satellite last night at NEW and gave it to these guys on a platter. And the other reason that we're pissed is, hey, it's obvious that Ken and Jeremy have decided where their bread is buttered.
Right.
Right? We had a falling out with them.
Right.
The bread is buttered with Opie and Anthony. That's fine. Make your bed. Lie in it. But we've worked for them for 9 years.
Exactly.
And we've done an awful lot for them for 9 years. And I'll say fairly and vice versa. But if you're going to F us, and if you're going to let your afternoon guys in New York F us, and you're going to give them the stick to stick up our rear end,
then we feel just like the other guy feels a little bit.
Right.
If that's the case, that's fine. And you know something? Before O&A came into this equation, everything was fine. They're the ones that stirred up a lot of this crap.
Right.
They really are.
Because they were threatened by us from day one.
Yes.
And we played nice every single day with them.
We did, and it was hard to do. It really was. It was definitely hard to do. Because we, let's be honest, we always did believe that we were the show that's right for afternoons. In the entire company, we know we are.
Mm-hmm. So we got to figure out what's going on. Maybe we'll just leave today. I mean, I hate to F everybody who's listening to the show, but really, this is an internal matter.
We gotta flex our muscles somehow. That's the only power we have.
This is an internal matter with management here at this station, because both Ken and Jeremy are still involved in the management of this radio station.
Right.
If it was any other station in the company...
You tried to call Ken today, too.
Yeah, and he wouldn't take my call.
Yeah.
Yet I know that G. Gordon Liddy got through to him.
Yeah, G. Gordon Liddy talked to him today.
And I called Jeremy, and all I received was his voicemail.
Right.
Every time.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, once again, the proactive management, where they're simply, it's one thing to be off that station. We made that decision. They honored that last night. Then it's quite another to take that station, which, there's still a connection between these two radio stations, and to use our material to,
without our permission,
to slam us. That's I don't know about that.
Yeah, forget it. I say we just leave. I'm very serious. I'm pissed about that.
I think we should find out exactly what's going on, and if this thing is being, quote, nipped in the bud, and if it's not,
Well, even if it's not nipped in the bud, I mean, what are we going to do, sit back again and take it again?
Right.
We're always the guys in this company that sit back and say, okay, all right, so you've done something else to us. Okay, that's okay. We're good guys. That's our whole friggin' problem with this company.
Mm-hmm.
Is that every time they do something like this, we always say, okay.
Right.
And we're the guys that do the job for them.
Yeah.
Sucks. It sucks on ice.
Might be time really to talk to one guy.
The Big E?
The big guy.
Yeah.
Just to have you and I to have a meeting with him, or have some kind of, if you can give us 10 minutes of his time just to explain our situation and explain that, we've adhered to certain things and we've done what we thought was right for a long period of time, and it just doesn't seem to be getting recognized.
I mean, I certainly know that when we've been in situations where there have been internal fights in the company, we've been asked to back off certain situations.
And when it comes from a certain individual, we always back off.
Yeah, we always do. Mm-hmm. And look where it's gotten us.
Because, and that's not because we're afraid of the boss. That's because we do have a sense of loyalty to where the opportunities have come from us. Yeah, sure. And, for us, I should say. That's why we do that. And, we do have a sense of that loyalty. And, it should be returned. I mean, we bitch and moan and complain about our bosses and complain about Jeremy and Ken and stuff like that. And we don't want to be on WNEW because we just don't think we can win. It's not a vindictive move. It's a move that just means we don't think we have a chance to win. We're not being given an opportunity, so why stay?
You know what is vindictive, though? Is the next day
to get your afternoon show that's there, and obviously,
give them the material that they don't have the right to air.
Right.
I mean, that's the whole friggin' thing with all of the rules that they cram down our throat constantly.
Exactly.
I think we need to take a break.
I think so, too.
I really think we need to take a break. And we might be back and we might not be back.
We'll find out what's going on. If you hear us come back, you'll know that something might have gotten resolved. If you don't hear us, you'll know that things aren't resolved. We're not very happy right now.
But please just understand that we appreciate the fact that you guys listen to the show.
We are committed to here in Washington, D.C. and the rest of the network. We are committed to this, but certain times statements have to be made.
At some point, the people who are up at top of this company, they've just got to play fair with us.
Absolutely. We have to have a voice. We have to be acknowledged.
Right.
And we do think that we have brought an awful lot to the table for an awful long time.
They just ain't respecting us at all.
Right.
It's like everything we've done for the last 9 years means nothing because they've got the flavor of the month up there.
Yeah, because they're up there in New York, all of a sudden, we're another program. And we're not just another program. We never have been. Not with those two guys.
Right.
Not with Ken Stevens and not with Jeremy Coleman.
Right.
Okay? They know better. They know better.
So anyway, we're going to take a break, and we'll figure out what's going on, and maybe we'll be back. And again, I'm real sorry to trouble you all with this again today. I promise you this. If we don't come back, we won't be coming back until we either get this straightened out with our lawyer or we find a new radio station.
Yeah, exactly.
It's real simple. And you can only F with us for so long. We felt underappreciated around here for a long time, and we don't bitch about it.
It's come to a head.
You know?
It's come to a head with two individuals.
Ken and Jeremy, you want to take sides on this? You know? You want to be pissed at us? Be pissed at us. Be a man. Pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I'm pissed at you. But don't do something backwards like this. Something that we have gotten in trouble for before.
Yeah, and take your attitude and shove it.
Right.
Take your attitude and shove it. We think we've done an awful lot for this company.
So that's it. We just want a little respect from Ken and Jeremy.
Issue of respect.
That's all. It's just, everybody should play by the same rules.
Right.
That's all we're asking. So, Jeremy, why don't you handle one? Because I understand you have so many things on your plate right now. Here's another thing for you to handle. We're out. Oh, no, don't. Ignore that. Rob loaded the touchstones. Please ignore that.
Yeah, because you'd need somebody here to handle the touchdowns.
Get a best of ready. We're out.
This is the Don and Mike Show.
Look how loud I have to yell!
This all seems a little elaborate for Sloppy Joe's. I know what the other 11 forks are for, but what do you do with this one?
Why, Mike, I believe you're supposed to scratch your ass with it.
Homer, watch your lap. Oh, that's a lifesaver.
God damn it. The Don and Mike Show.
We got a couple of stories here. I don't know which one's going to pan out, okay, from our wacky story file. This one really caught my eye because this is a story I can relate to. Let me just preface this by telling you that in 1981, I won a competition at Disneyland where I was the Southern California
Miss Pac-Man champion.
Ms. Pac-Man champion.